Hey guys, this is Tony Benson with Wealth Builders HQ and creator of Patterns in a Flash. We're going to take a look at the patterns of the week from last week and see what else is still on the list. Before we do that, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. I'm not a registered broker-dealer investment advisor. I will not give you any recommendations or advice. Everything we do here is purely for educational purposes. If I do mention a trade, just assume that it is a paper trade or practice trade. For regulatory reasons, we do not discuss funded trading. So we're going to look back on Pfizer and Procter & Gamble. Let's just jump right to it. This is one of the beauties, even though pattern of the week is for those that are subscribed to Patterns in a Flash, but occasionally we have some that are still in good position. So Pfizer's one of those that may still be. We've got a beautiful head and shoulders look there. It's just barely broken the neckline. So there is possibly earnings made a little drop to the downside. So we will see if that one continues to play out or develop. Procter & Gamble, the list has gotten short, mainly because a lot of the stuff broke, right? A lot of the market broke down over the last few weeks. It's kind of stagnant a little bit, but we've had some breaks to the downside on a lot of this stuff. Or there's a couple that went up, too, but for the most part, things have gone down. Procter & Gamble, here's another one that we looked at, right? Looking at the possibility of a symmetrical triangle, but it looks like, and this is what can be tricky, sometimes you got multiple patterns in one. We also had kind of a double top there. But it has broken down. We were looking for it to go higher, and it's broken down, so this pattern is negated. It will be gone next week. Avantor, however you pronounce that. This is one we looked at a few weeks ago as a descending triangle, and it actually played out beautifully there for 3 days. Actually, about a week. I mean, it did it in 2 days. It hit this day, and then the next day it hit the target. So it already played out beautifully, but if it rolls back down and breaks back below, I'd be open to doing that one again. And Bristol's another one. This will come off next week. You see that vertical line? That's where I highlighted it as the pattern of the week. Anybody that has Patterns of Flash as a subscriber may have gotten on here. Probably should have gotten stopped out somewhere in here. But if you stayed with it and saw it break back above here, could have gotten a piece of it here, or even here, it gave another entry point. And I almost pulled the trigger on this, but after it gaps down in the morning like that, it's really hard to go, you know what, it's dropped off the last 3 days, and it just gapped down big time. And it really, I remember seeing it, and it had only stayed down for a little bit, half hour, 45 minutes, and then it turned around and just rallied. Actually, it may have gapped down. It barely even went down. It might have been just a few minutes, but whatever the case is, it took off and ran really quick. So it crossed that entry point very, very quickly. Way too early for me to pull the trigger. And it's easy to look back now and say, oh, I should have. Well, yeah, of course you should have, but realistically, I should have been in here. But this is one of those, and you miss trades like this all the time. It's just the nature of the beast. You're not going to catch them all. You never will. And even though I still get frustrated sometimes because I look at this and, you know, it's probably a 50 to 80% rate of return on an option in just a few days, maybe a couple weeks if you got in here. So it's frustrating, but like I said, it's the nature of the beast. You know, it's always like that. You just have to get used to it and learn to appreciate the ones that you do catch that move big, which if you've been playing the downside this year, you have been loving it. I have been. I've been prepared for it for several months now, and now that it's taken, I am absolutely loving it when it drops. So if you don't know how to play the downside, then I would suggest learning. It is phenomenal. So especially when things are getting worse, and it looks like we're about to enter into a bear market. So all the signs are there. It's actually the original drop. Today the news dropped off that they're probably going to raise interest rates mid-meeting, or at least that's what they're wanting to do. Somebody was mentioning it. Somebody at the Fed was mentioning mid-meeting rates, which is extremely rare, which means that they are extremely concerned about inflation. So the market is most likely going to continue to drop. The question becomes how far and how fast, because the economy is going to get weaker. It's already showing a lot of signs of weakness. There's already lots of telltale signs that we're in a bubble. It's kind of a perfect storm the way I see it. So if, like I said, if you don't know how to play the downside, first of all, learn to read charts. Get Patterns in a Flash. Learn to read charts well, and also learn to play the downside. So anyway, that will be it. Let's get the this up there. You all know me, right? If you're going to fail at just one thing, fail at quitting. Y'all take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the training. Now, if you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button right over here and hit the bell to keep up with all the latest trading content. And oh, did you know that we have a podcast? Supercharge your trading education with the Stock Market Millionaire, which you can find in the description down below. And while you're there, you can also find other amazing free trading resources that I put together just for you.